Have you experienced an aching or a longing in your heart? And I don't mean for another person, although the feelings can seem the same. I'm talking about for dreams and ideas that have gone unfulfilled. Maybe you stuffed them so far down that it seems like they're dead. But every time something triggers it and they just bubble right back up to the surface. Can I ask you a question? Why are you stuffing them down? Why are you ignoring them? Why are you procrastinating the pursuit of them? Why do you think that it can't be your reality? Is it that you think you're not smart enough? Do you not have the look, you think? Are you not talented enough? Are you too busy? Do you think that people won't like it or won't receive it well? Or is it that nobody's ever encouraged you to do it, so you take it as an indicator that you shouldn't do it? If any of those sound like what's been going on in your head, then I just want to let you know that you have a case of the Chatterbox. And the Chatterbox are the lies. They're lies that we all hear in our minds that keep us from actively and accurately hearing God's voice. And the first thing I want you to know is that you are not alone. Nobody is immune to hearing these lies. Nobody is immune to the Chatterbox. And we all have that tug of war in our minds. We have one voice that's telling us to pursue this and to go for it. And then we have another one that's telling us all the reasons why it won't work and why we shouldn't do it. And then we have us in the middle who want to do it, but the other voice sounds like it's more of the truth. Everyone experiences this war. It's the people that you inspire, who inspire you, who you look up to. The greatest figures in the Bible, like Paul in Romans 7:21-25, he states that he confesses he wants to do right, but he ends up doing wrong. And though he loves the Lord, there is another power at war within his mind. There is a war that only you can hear, and it's taking place right in the middle of your mind. And at times, it's an all-out battle. There's cannons blasting and these gut-wrenching screams that are suffocating the air. But most of the time, it seems like these night silent attacks, where by the time you realize that there's an assassin in the room, the battle's already over, it's done, and the opportunity has passed by you. And maybe you've experienced what it's like to lose the battle, right? It's complete torture. You have this undercurrent of misery. You're bored with life. You're restless. You feel guilty. You have no energy. You feel unloved. You feel disgusted with yourself and anybody else who would even dare to even look like they may be overcoming what you're struggling with right now. And the thing is, if we don't get this under control, we'll actually start to hate ourselves and hate our lives. So me personally, I cannot allow myself to live like this anymore. And I hope that you make the decision that you cannot allow yourself to live like this anymore. And the great news is that we don't have to. We don't have to live like this. Let's do something about it. We don't have to sit on the sidelines of life and watch the people that inspire us dance through life. We can dance too, right? Christ came so that you can have life and have it more abundantly. And it would be a shame for us to sit on the sidelines when God has given us another option. All we have to do is believe in Him, and from our heart will flow rivers of living water. And you'll be a fountain of water springing up into everlasting life. But that's going to take work. It's going to be a sacrifice. We have to give up our neutrality, our comfort. We have to give up our flat out rebellion, right? There's no Switzerland in this. You can't procrastinate or kill your purpose any longer. And it's so easy to be neutral, right? It's so easy to procrastinate, to just let the battle go and to go ahead and lose. Doing nothing is far much easier for us because we can reconcile that, right? If we do nothing, then we aren't accountable. It gives us this false sense of security. If I don't do anything, I'm not accountable. That's not true. In Matthew 25, where Jesus talks about the parable of the talents, one man thought, the man with one talent thought that if he did nothing, he was not accountable. And Christ lets us know that you are still accountable. Your inaction counts. And so if our action is siding with the Spirit of God, then our inaction is us siding with the enemy. Because at the end of the day, who benefits from our inaction? Who benefits? It's not God. The enemy benefits because you don't do anything. You don't fulfill your purpose. So he benefits from it. So when we side with the enemy or the chatterbox, then what happens is the great deeds remain undone, and the possibility of our growth into greatness of our soul, that becomes aborted. And the wonderful part is that the wonderful promise is that God has already placed great deeds in your path. You don't have to conjure them up. All you have to do is allow the Spirit of God to lead you and guide you. Obey him, and he will help you discern what deeds are his. And if you can do that, then you are right on the path that God has called you to be, to fulfilling your purpose. So we today are going to make the decision to side with the Spirit of God. We are going to fight against the enemy with strategy, and we are going to win. So I want you to do two things for me this week. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to go up into your attic, up in your mind, and I want you to pull out all those dusty dreams and ideas that God had placed in your heart. And for whatever reason, you put them away. I want you to go ahead. I want you to take them out. I want you to write them down, and I want you to say them out loud. And then pray for the ability to discern God's voice and what he's saying about your dreams and ideas. That's the first thing. The second thing I want you to do, so on your mirror or a post-it note or a piece of paper, vision board, I don't care, a poster, I want you to list out who God has called you to be. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. List it out. You know what it is. He's placed it in your heart. He'll give you the desires of your heart. He'll give you his desires, right? He's given them to you. If you're delighting in his word, if you're abiding, if you're meditating on what he's saying, then you know what he has called you to do. Write it out and don't be afraid at all, okay? It's just you and him. Write it out. Say it out loud. And then I want you to put it in a place that you're going to see it every day. Every day, sometime throughout the day, you're going to walk by this place, or you're going to look at it, or whatever. As you're brushing your teeth, putting on your makeup, starting your car, it doesn't matter, doing your work, you're gonna see this. And I want you to say, God says I am. And I want you to start saying out loud, listing all those things that you've put on there. God says I am an author. God says I am an entrepreneur. God says I am a good mother. God says that I am a worship leader. God says I am a choreographer. God says